Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Here's a little project that I've slowly been working on. It's just kind of something that I've wanted to do and use on a trip with a buddy of mine. He also is building him one to his specifications, and once we have completed our kits, we're gonna build us a pack frame and kind of utilize the wool blanket pack deal with a wooden pack frame, maybe if not the Roycroft pack frame, a different style, and get our stuff together and canoe in over on his property. He's got a big, like a 50-something acre lake, and we'll just cruise over there and cruise around until we find us a good spot and hit the shore and camp for a couple of days with the things that we have in our kit. In these kits, there's a million different flavors you can make it, but it is inspired by this little book right here from Morris Kohansky. And there's more info just than this little book in his book Bushcraft. It talks about this thing also, and there's a bunch of videos and all kinds of stuff. I think I got the book from Ben's Backwoods, I think. And then this one, who is signed by the man himself, was a gift from somebody that went to the last Bushcraft symposium that was held when he was still alive, and got a couple of things signed and gave me one. Super cool. But this is what I have done with my kit, and it's not exactly what he says. It's the things that I would like to use, I want to try. So they're a little different flavor than some of the things, but all of this information is in one of these books. But you can find it all online, bunch of different sites that you can find this information. So you're looking at about 4.5 pounds of gear in one of these. This thing, I don't know how much it weighs. I'll weigh it, but it's less than 4 pounds. So it starts out with a Uberleben titanium pot. I think it's called the Kessel. Is that what it's called? The Kessel. And it's a titanium pot with a lid. Never even put it on the fire. We're going to just roll up in here and test the stuff and play with it at the same time. We have a emergency. If we don't like what we're doing, we just jump in a canoe and paddle back and stay in the cabin, or go to the bar, or do whatever we want to do. We're not worried about it not working out. We just want to have fun when we do it. So the kit is based around this pot, and it's kind of different. It's put together like this, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it's different. But this is my main vessel for my goodies, and it lives in a waxed canvas container, little zip pouch there. And then this is a ripstop, really tiny, super light bag. That way I could put this stuff in this bag, and I got about a 3.5 foot piece of paracord on there that I can carry it across my body like a little mini haversack. And it just lives in the bottom of here. Can't even tell that it's in there. For the gizmos and gadgets, I still have plenty of room in this thing to put a bunch of stuff, but I want to make sure it's something that I'm going to use. I really don't need just bogus materials in there. So when we go, we're going to try a lot of the stuff that's talked about in this book. So I'm actually looking at the one that's not signed, and I think Nope. I thought I might could fit it in there, but it's just too tall. Not gonna work. It'd be cool if it would. I could take the outside cover off of it. Now there's stuff in here. You know what? I'll look. I'll see where these edges are. I bet I can cut this thing so it fits. Anyway, something else I'll play with just to have it in there to go over. But we'll do the super shelter thing and maybe a few other things that it talks about in this book. Super shelters are super shelters. They work very well. And depending if you're with the dude that I'm talking about going on this trip with, he just puts wood on the fire to put wood on the fire. So you will swelter to death if he is in charge of the firewood. So you really have to watch it in one of these things. I mean, they heat extremely well. But for my contents, I have a big old slab of fat wood. I got a couple of beeswax candles. I got a little flashlight. I got some fire tabs and a spare battery. There's a battery also in my flashlight. Let's see. Spread this stuff out a little bit. I got one of the match safes that's in a video Morse Kohansky done on fire starting stuff. So I got one just like he was showing off just to take with me. It's a whistle. And it's got a little ferro rod on the side. And I just got stormproof matches on the inside down in there with, there's a ferro rod down in there also. I got one of these for my buddy too. So we'll be carrying duplicate stuff, but it's just to play with when we're out there. I got some more fire tabs just because they fit different places. I got a spool, so 125 foot of 100-pound test micro cord. It's just really thin. And I may actually take it off of this, but it's convenient on this thing. I can pack that full of stuff if I get needing to real bad. I have like a 8x8 painter's drop cloth in here and a emergency blanket. I got a Swiss Army knife. It's got the saw and all that stuff. I got one of these ferro rod and tinder jobbies in there. I'll play with that thing too and see how it works. Another Uberleben ferro rod. These guys work good. A bobbin with 15-pound test spider wire on it. A little gear tube from Wazoo Survival Gear. So it's got 3 hooks, 3 weights, a couple of small safety pins, and a sewing needle in here. I'll cover my fishing stuff. Some big safety pins on a keyring. A big Bic lighter with a Ranger band and Gorilla Tape and some waxed hemp. And a big hank of paracord. And like I said, there's more space in there for other things. And if you watch his stuff, he suggests filling all of your nooks and crannies with cordage, which I think is a good call for what we're going to be doing. But we're going to essentially be carrying 2 pert near the same kits. Like he's thinking the same things I am. He may have some different items brand wise, but he's going to be looking at doing some of the same stuff that I am with pieces of his kit. We like the same stuff. And again, most of this is going to be just kind of what we want to play with too. Go out there and see what we can get ourselves into. It wouldn't be the first time we went on a canoe trip one time that was like, no, it wasn't very well planned out at all. It was just like, hey, let's go on this trip. And I say canoe trip. We went with a skidder inner tube with a piece of plywood cut out in a circle and roped, tied to the top of it. And it's a place that we used to go canoeing all the time when we were in high school. We borrowed our dad's stuff and rock and roll down there and leave a car at one end, and so we could drive back to where we jumped off. But we had somebody drop us off, hitchhiked. And so once we started, the water was moving super slow, and it was a horrible idea. And it starts coming this lightning storm, and there's lightning popping everywhere. I mean, it was terrifying. It was one of the most fun trips that I've ever been on. And when we end up going and asking somebody for a ride, we just cut off through these pastures. It's like soybeans, or maybe in cotton. I can't remember. It was just little short, like knee-high green stuff. So we rock and rolled down through there, and there was a dude with a mohawk throwing horseshoes in the lightning storm. True story. My buddy Wash, if he's on here, or Clint East, if you watch this video, you was there. Josh Weaver, you were there. Kevin Bush, you were there. They can validate that story. It was pretty awesome. But anyway, that's my little take on the 2 kilogram survival kit. And I'm gonna add a few more things to it, and then we're gonna go out and play here probably before spring gets here, when it's nice and cool out, just to have a little fun. But anyway, thanks for the support. You can check out older stuff at Bushcraft Kelso, gizmos and gadgets on bushcraftkelso.com. Some of this stuff is on there too. Very, very little of it though. Yeah, like and subscribe. There'll be content on this coming up here in the near future, as well as a bunch of other stuff. But that is the contents of my 2 kilogram survival kit. More to come later.